Welcome to Take Me to the Cloud, a place for business professionals to hear insights and best practices from industry experts that combine cloud systems, operations, supply chain, and finance.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Take Me to the Cloud podcast by Witham. My name is Rafat. I'm an intern on the Management Consulting Services team here at Witham. And today for our podcast, we'll be discussing connecting e-commerce and ERP for businesses of all sizes, diving a bit more into some of the major trends and challenges that we're seeing in the current landscape, and of course, diving into some of the products and solutions that businesses have, such as NetSuite and Suite Commerce. So with that, I'm joined here by some very special guests. On the Witham side here, I'm joined here by Wendy Lin, a management consultant also on the MCS team, and she has a background in e-commerce and ERP. Wendy, how's it going?
Good, Rafat. How are you?
Great. Happy to have you on. And then, of course, on the other side here, we have some very special guests as well from Unlock Commerce, one of the leading providers of e-commerce and ERP solutions, and also founders of NetSuite's Suite Commerce product. We're joined here by Joaquin, CEO of Unlock, and then Santiago, one of the sales leads at Unlock. Well, I think it would be best if you guys could introduce yourself and also just speak a little bit about the firm. Thanks for being here, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for the invite. Hi, Rafat and Wendy. Yeah, I'm CEO and founder at Unlock Commerce. Just a little bit about my background. I'm a former NetSuite employee from the professional services department. We come from the office where the NetSuite Commerce product has been built. That's Suite Commerce. We've seen and used all versions of SCA, actually. So we know the product inside out. And actually, one of our directors here started Suite Commerce. And that was a company that was acquired by NetSuite in 2011. And since then, the development started of the first iterations of the product. So Unlock Commerce is a consultancy and implementation firm specialized in the Suite Commerce module. We are Alliance partner and SCN partners for over 5 years now. We have a team of 30 plus consultants. We have developed a lot of extensions, 40 plus extensions and apps in the NetSuite Suite Commerce ecosystem, solving different problems. And I mean, the main line of business is everything that pertains to Suite Commerce implementation, maintenance, optimization, and NetSuite custom portals. I mean, customer portals, vendor portals, employee portals, and sales rep portals, right? So, I mean, it's front-end experiences connected to NetSuite. I'll give the word to Santi here.
Thank you, Paco, and thank you, Rafat and Wendy, for having us today. My name is Santiago Juan. I'm sales lead at Unlock. I've been in the NetSuite Suite Commerce ecosystem for around 10 years already, give or take. Before joining Unlock, I took care and actually managed the sales department at a pretty well-established Suite Commerce agency as well. I joined Unlock 2.5 years ago already, pretty much to help develop the sales area with processes and pretty much organize that area of things. Been quite a ride since the last 2.5 years. We've seen a lot of growth in Unlock and sufficient experiences with a lot of B2B, B2C clients of all verticals that has allowed us to actually grow in a very organic way and position ourselves like a relevant, Suite Commerce agency already.
And so definitely some very expert guests today on the topic of e-commerce and ERP. And kind of getting into that landscape, definitely want to start off by discussing some of the trends. Of course, we know how quickly the market can change on this. I guess a bit on our side, what we're seeing is the emphasis from businesses on personalization, self-service, and digitalization, both on the B2B and B2C side. We'd definitely love to hear from you. Joaquin, maybe you could kick us off with one major trend that we're seeing in the e-commerce and ERP space.
Absolutely. I mean, from this time that we've been involved, as more than 10 years in this building Suite Commerce experiences or building e-commerce experiences. I mean, the most ask is all about nowadays is all about personalization and customer experience. I mean, the end goal in a personalization and a customer experience, the benefits that customers would enjoy, no matter if they're B2B or B2C, there are different tactics towards tackling both types of segments. But the main idea is to enhance the customer satisfaction and bring loyalty of those customers into the brand. So, I mean, nowadays, companies leverage a lot of data from the ERP, from e-commerce systems, And that would allow companies to actually know better their customers and offer a better shopping experience. And that's one of the most significant trends that we are seeing in the area of B2B. I mean, I can talk about features, like I talk about experiences that would enrich those segments. The B2B customer is all about multi-tier user permissions, or quick order forms, custom pricing and catalogs, bulk ordering, right? Or volume pricing. As much as you can facilitate the use of those B2B customers, then it's better for them. They have a cleaner experience. They fund the products quicker. They do a self-serve on the products and actually complete the orders. If you go into the B2C world, what brands are looking for, it's a unique design, a unique layout that represents their brand online. User-friendly and responsive UI, this is a must. Personalized recommendations. You have a lot of data from your customer. You can use the input of AI intelligence that captures and process the customer behavior around the web and allow and recommend personalized items and content. And also, customers are looking for partial customer reviews, multiple payment issues. Those will facilitate the customer in doing a checkout.
Yeah, of course. And I think it's really interesting because that personalization aspect, it used to be something only unique to B2C companies. And now we're seeing so many B2B companies focusing on that as well. Yeah, no, perfect. What about you, Santiago? What is one major trend that you're seeing on your side?
Yeah, adding to what Joaquin was saying, and mostly on the B2B side, and obviously taking into account that we are focused on NetSuite. We're a NetSuite partner. We mostly offer Suite commerce services and all that pertains to the front-end commerce part of NetSuite. Pretty much the trend that we're still seeing in B2B is that NetSuite users tend to go for Suite commerce because it's actually a no-brainer. We've seen more and more frequently cases of, let's say, customers that have a B2B channel that go into NetSuite. Maybe they had another more basic ERP system. They switched to NetSuite to scale, and to grow. And maybe they had another platform. Let's say, I don't know, it can be a custom platform. It can be WooCommerce. It can be BigCommerce, whatever. At the time they switched to NetSuite, it's kind of obvious that Suite Commerce is the way to go because Suite Commerce is pretty much the platform that doesn't have any middleware or connector in the middle between the ERP and the front end. It's basically what you have in the NetSuite ERP is displayed in the front end. You don't have any connection, any need of maintaining and managing two different systems, the need of paying for two hosting providers, and so on. And moreover, you avoid having like a new piece in the chain that could bring potential issues, problems. So again, we're seeing more and more in the last couple of years, customers that maybe had another different type of B2B platform and they start adopting NetSuite ERP that go to Suite Commerce. So let's say that those kinds of projects are coming our way, where we are actually migrating the site from a different e-com platform, B2B platform, to Suite Commerce or to Suite Commerce Advanced, depending on the need of the client. And pretty much they just obviously switch off the previous website to have their Suite Commerce platform, and that streamlines their processes a lot.
Yeah, of course. And I think that definitely just highlights the need to find, the right program for your business, which, we'll be diving more into in the second half of this. I guess, though, diving away from the trends, I also want to transition to the other side with maybe some of the largest issues and pain points that clients are currently facing in this landscape. But Wendy, how about you kick us off with one major pain point that clients are facing?
Yeah, of course. So one of the main challenges that business will face is connecting ERPs with e-commerce platform. It sounds like a piece of cake until you're deep in the complexities. We're talking about data discrepancies, systems that don't speak the same language, and struggles to align with businesses' unique needs. Achieving seamless integration, though, would require meticulous attention and a touch of technical expertise. And I think, Joaquin, you have also some other thoughts about the challenges and the pain points. How about you share some more of that as well?
Yeah, I agree with what you said, Wendy. To add a pain point, right? It's something that we see very often. It's all about manual processes. I mean, if we go in the trend on traditional, let's say, offline sales channels where sales orders are being received via email, phone, fax, spreadsheets, or any other methods, there's the need to manually enter into NetSuite or the ERP that you're using to get the orders processed, right? And I mean, there's a dependency on a person, right? I mean, it's a time-consuming task because you need to enter and you need to pay like careful attention to what you're uploading data into the system. This is prone to human errors. I mean, this can also lead to delays. I mean, people are not machines, right? So, I mean, nothing is real time or is very fast. I mean, the most thing that I see with this is all of these issues could potentially mean more cost in management, more cost in error correction, but also it could damage the customer experience and customer satisfaction and loyalty to the brand that we talked about it earlier.
Perfect. And yeah, with that, definitely have a good idea on the trends and challenges that businesses are facing. And with that, I definitely love to get more into the details here and kind of the specific solutions that companies have. Of course, we touched on NetSuite and the Suite Commerce products, Suite Commerce Advanced too. And I guess it would be beneficial for some listeners, Santiago, if maybe you could give a high-level overview of NetSuite and the products such as Suite Commerce and Suite Commerce Advanced.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, pretty much NetSuite offers an e-commerce platform that obviously, being that initially NetSuite is an ERP, at a certain point of the progression of how business works, it had to roll out an e-commerce platform. Okay. And nowadays basically NetSuite has two platforms, Suite Commerce Advanced and Suite Commerce, which sometimes is referred to as Suite Commerce Standard. It is pretty much the same platform with the same functionalities. SCA, Suite Commerce Advanced, was rolled out before Suite Commerce. Suite Commerce was rolled out after as a lighter version, let's say, of Suite Commerce Advanced. But honestly, it's the same platform that provides the same e-commerce functionalities. For the customer journey, you would expect a homepage, category pages, subcategory pages, product detail page, and obviously the ability to add items to cart and checkout. So that's pretty much what you can expect in both versions of the platform. Now, there's two main differences between SCA and SC. Suite Commerce Advanced allows you to actually customize the core code of the platform, while Suite Commerce does not allow you that. The standard protocol of how to add customizations to both SCA and Suite Commerce Advanced is called extensibility layer. So pretty much how it works is that you build extensions which work as branches, from the source code, and you pretty much work on an extension that is like a cocoon addition. What that allows you is that whenever, and this is the second thing I will mention, whenever the platform gets upgraded, you ensure that addition or custom addition you have in an extension, which is cocooned, does not break or is affected by that upgrade. Okay. This brings me to the second difference between the two, Suite Commerce Advanced and Suite Commerce. So on one side, you can actually customize the source code of SCA. This is something that customers that need really complex customizations in the code need to do. So in those cases, it makes sense that those customers go for the Suite Commerce Advanced license, not the Suite Commerce license. Okay. Now, the second thing that is important here is that the NetSuite products and the NetSuite e-commerce product usually gets updated twice a year. Okay. When it comes to Suite Commerce, which is kind of the lighter version of the e-commerce product, the upgrades are done automatically. So when you perform custom aspects on top of the Suite Commerce platform that should be on the extensions, you have to take care of that because the system auto upgrades, and you have to take care that everything that you have customized on top of the site is actually respecting best practices. Okay, so nothing gets affected. In the case of Suite Commerce Advanced, since it offers the ability of customizing the source code, you actually handle those upgrades manually. Okay. So it's not that it auto upgrades. You, as the user, decide when you want to perform those upgrades. Okay. Why in particular? Because it's a twofold thing, at least. One, you manage and take care of the source code and you take care that the custom aspects that you put on top of the site do not potentially break or affect the functionality. And this obviously happens as well because on every upgrade, NetSuite rolls out new capabilities, new functionalities of the Suite Commerce product. And let's say one example, for instance, some years ago, you didn't have available ACH payments, for instance, out of the box. You needed to customize that. In the last couple of years, if I'm not mistaken, NetSuite rolled out ACH payments as a native feature. Okay. So let's say that you had a customization in your SCA website that actually allowed ACH payments, but with a workaround that it's custom. And now you want that to be native. Okay. So it makes sense that you upgrade the platform to the newest version. So you have those ACH payments at checkout level natively. Okay. So in a nutshell, that's a couple of aspects. I mean, that's the two versions of the platform and a couple of the main differences between one and the other.
Yeah. Thanks for taking the time to just highlight some of the differences there between Suite Commerce and Suite Commerce Advanced.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
for many listeners, maybe to get the practical sense of some of these differences, I'd love to go through some case studies. Maybe Joaquin, you could kick us off with, an example of a company that you worked with where you kind of implemented Suite Commerce or Suite Commerce Advanced and kind of highlight some of the differences that it's made for businesses.
Absolutely. I mean, I can give one example. This is a customer from the UK. I mean, they were running all of the offline sales channels, right? And that I mentioned previously. So I'm talking about email, phone, fax, spreadsheets, right? That was like it until recent times, right? Until 2 years ago or 3 years ago, for example. I mean, they came to us to build their B2B store, right? To have their customers self-serve 24/7 from their online store. So we built a customer portal, password protected for them. Okay. And I mean, this is for their B2B clientele. The results were great. I mean, they reduced time of the reps in actually placing the order, like entering into NetSuite or into the ERP, and changed that and increased the time of their reps in actually chasing new customers or new sales. So instead of doing more manual data entry into the system, you go and get more sales, right? Now that you can have your customers doing a self-serve and actually buy the products that they want, that they need. So that's just that standard B2B implementation. But then as a next step, right? And I mean, this customer wanted to go beyond is where we built a sales rep portal, right? I mean, there are B2B customers that are not tech savvy or not, I mean, maybe in this industry or what else. I mean, we built a sales rep portal. So, I mean, the rep in the field can go into the store, see the inventory, the products that are missing, and actually order from mobile device or a tablet, right? And I mean, they would log in, they would impersonate that customer, that retail customer where they are visiting, they are in the field, and actually place an order, right? So, I mean, that's the second use for the same platform, right? It's essentially the same site. And next in line, I mean, they wanted to open the web store experience into B2C. I said it was password protected, right? So only B2B and you need a license and an account. But I mean, the next step is actually opening up the experience for the B2C clientele. They have a smaller B2C clientele. And that's in NetSuite and Suite Commerce, that's a simple checking a box, a configuration, and you have your website running for your B2B clientele, your B2C clientele, and in this case, the sales reps, right? So, I mean, 3 different actors using the system to fulfill essentially the same process, essentially placing an order for them or for somebody else. That was a great story.
Yeah, great. And then maybe Wendy, on your end, you can also talk about a time that a client that highlights kind of the differences between Suite Commerce and Suite Commerce Advanced.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about another key study on my end that illustrate the differences of both C and SCA. So let's picture a predominant wedding dress designer and manufacturer based in the US. They are already leveraging Oracle's NetSuite ERP and Suite Commerce to manage their operations. However, they are now looking to take their e-commerce game to the next level, and especially on the B2B side. So this client encountered some challenges with Suite Commerce, and particularly regarding its source code and customization limitations. As their business expanded, these limitations became more apparent and restrictive. They needed a solution that offered greater flexibility and best-in-class site experience. And this is where Witham stepped in and helped. So we took a customer journey approach, thoroughly understanding the client's processes, pain points, and their expectations. Well, we then developed a tailored strategy to address these challenges head on. And after rounds of assessments and vendor evaluations, our recommendation to the client was to transition from Suite Commerce to Suite Commerce Advanced. And you may ask why we landed on Suite Commerce Advanced. Because it retains all the features the client loves with Suite Commerce while introducing enhanced customization capabilities within the same system. The seamless integration with NetSuite ERP system will still remain, and the client still has real-time visibility into items, sales, inventory, and all sorts of reporting capabilities. It's the best of both worlds. And fast forward 1 year, the client has a sleek, user-friendly e-commerce portal that meets their needs perfectly. Our approach ensures that the client can continue leveraging NetSuite's offering while also being prepared for future growth. So with that, I'll turn that into you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Two great examples there that highlight the differences between the two. And I think, without a shadow of a doubt, the process of connecting an ERP and e-commerce, it's exciting, but there's definitely challenges ahead. For any listeners, if you'd like to know more on the differences of Suite Commerce and Suite Commerce Advanced, I'd highly recommend reading Wendy's article on Suite Commerce versus Suite Commerce Advanced, which you can read online. Thanks, Wendy, and thanks, Santiago and Joaquin from Unlock Commerce. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for the invite.
Thank you, Rifat.
Thank you, Rifat and Wendy.
You've been listening to Take Me to the Cloud. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to be alerted of new episodes. For more information, visit witham.com.